right there.
Okay, don't worry. There you go. We're gonna call the order right now at 6:33. Call the order 6:33, and we have a roll call. We've got enough to make a quorum. We've got Bruce online. We've got Leanne online. We've got
Shirley.
Shirley's here.
Jim and Shirley. And I was just told that I have to take I have to actually be sworn in before I'm actually able to vote. I just found that out from Lisa. I haven't gone to the clerk to formally get sworn in, so I really shouldn't even vote on anything tonight. So Leanne, just so you know what's going on, okay?
Okay.
So do we have an approval of our minutes?
So moved.
Okay. Hi, Bruce.
How you doing, Leanne?
Not too bad.
Do
Good.
we have
Where are
any-
you? Are you in Florida now?
No, I had to come home.
Oh,
Hope you don't have the flu, Leanne. You might have the flu.
I might have.
yeah. Should have
We'll
stayed
just see
in
how
Florida.
tomorrow goes. Hello, Sharon.
Hello, how are
Where's
you?
your picture?
You don't need to see my picture. I don't know. It's not, I'm just a note taker anyway, so.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't know how to change the
Okay.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
distant, but yes.
Okay.
sound. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's the microphone's up there.
We're gonna just check the microphone.
I don't know where the microphone is. Okay.
Okay, so let's get to the fourth item on the agenda is communications. Does anyone have any communications they want to share? Any
Yes,
new? No.
None
I
here.
do. I have a volunteer for when we want to do a project. Just one second. Well, it's kind of hard to reach. I think it's Alexis, and it's SENION, I believe. And her telephone number is 860-287-7151. So when we're going to do a project, if we call, she'd be happy to help.
What was his name again?
Alexis, SENION, maybe?
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I'm sorry. All she gave me was Alexis.
Okay.
That was I couldn't read her writing. That was the beginning of senior center, because that's where we met.
Okay.
So I wanted to be sure to give that to you. And I had a call, I don't know, Missy, maybe you know, from a place in Colchester that wanted to sell us plants. Do you know of anything in Colchester?
Well, Pride's Corner's up in Franklin.
I will find it and send it to you.
Okay. Please do. Okay. I haven't heard anything, no formal communication. I've heard, once again, comments at meetings and things like that, that we should look into that lot, which we've talked about many times, across the street from the ice cream parlor on the corner of Depot, with suggestions that they would gladly donate money if we would plant trees there. So could we have someone in the committee find out who's the owner of that lot? Do you know, Leanne?
I will. I don't know, but I can find it.
That's just the group. They own about 6 houses there. It's a LLC, I believe.
Yeah. They, after the last gentleman that had been down there that owed so much, when he died, his son sold it to this group, but I can still track them down.
Okay. Can you track out who the owner is?
Yeah,
So, we can reach out and see, if, we just like to sit down and talk to them.
Yeah.
And, just see,
okay,
we share what we know about it, and with the kind of info that we constantly get in from people when they are at cocktail parties, when you're at a sporting event, somebody says, "Oh, aren't you on the beautification committee?" And then they hit you with things like that. So I'm asking people to now formally send me emails.
Well, they should be they should be submitting the blight. There's a group with, I think the planning office, that they should be putting in blight complaints.
yes,
If
Yeah.
everybody's good about doing complaint at a cocktail party, but you need to do the stuff later, so we have, when we get ready to spend money, we have proof of why people have asked versus word of mouth.
I've heard someone say that they are hesitant to write a formal blight complaint because you have to put your name and your address, and they're afraid of retribution, that somebody will come back and say, "Hey, you complained about me." So that's what I've heard now, probably several times at these events where people talk about what's happening in town. So,
well, if they want to call me, I'll be happy to work with them on it so that they're not the complainant.
at one point, we had hoped to get the blight officer to come meet with us.
Great,
We never followed through with that. Did we not? Did we? I don't think we never assigned that to anyone to get him to meet with us either during the daytime. It could be a daytime executive meeting where, you know, we're just meeting with him informally.
okay,
I make a motion that we contact the blight officer and see if we can meet with him personally.
I second that and I accept responsibility for it.
Say no more.
I move to add one more thing to our agenda. If I could just put this up front, because Sharon worked on this. I just want to make sure that we talk about this. At one point, we had discussed writing a letter that's kind of like from the Beautification Committee and introducing ourselves and Sharon.
Excuse me, Missy, I'm sorry to interrupt you. But I think at that meeting the other night, they probably told you you can only discuss what's already on your agenda unless it's an item like.
Yeah, I also found out when I went to this meeting that I can add an agenda as long as I make a motion to add an agenda.
All right,
According to the Robert's rules, I can add an agenda item as long as I make a motion to add it. And I think
I'm sorry I interrupted then. Go right ahead.
okay. So this is a lovely letter, and it's just a draft, but I'd like to send it out to all of our members. It's just a draft right now, Leanne. I'd like to send it out to all of our members. We can add and work on it a little bit. And then when you and I meet with the town manager, maybe we can bring it to him and say, what do you think about this letter? Essentially, it's an introduction. It's lovely. I can read it to you right now if you want me to quickly spend 5 minutes reading it.
Sure,
Sure.
Okay.
I'm in favor.
Okay. It's a very rough draft she's added. Hello, Groton business owners. We are members, or I am a member, you could say, of the Town of Groton Beautification Committee, reporting to the Town Council. You may have seen us wearing our bright green t-shirts, working in town municipal gardens and other notable gardens around town. Our committee's mission is to enhance the appearance of our community through the addition of art and landscaping projects that foster economic growth in Groton. Our first goal was to revitalize, update the landscaping at the municipal buildings, as these locations are often the first impression newcomers see as they seek to do business in Groton. In addition to landscaping, we provide a bit of holiday spirit by placing wreaths at the town municipal buildings. We also hope to have some great art projects coming to fruition soon. With our first goal nearly completed, this year the committee is dedicated to sprucing up the downtown business area. We are wondering if you would consider planters with flowers in front of your business. We would help you choose a planter that fits properly for your location and help you choose the plantings that would do well based on the conditions. We are offering to purchase in the first 10 or something. This is all up for negotiating, whether we would purchase these planters or not. But this is this is like the essence of this letter. What do you think, Lee?
I think it's great. I think it's great. Are we gonna take that around, or are we gonna try to mail it to the appropriate people?
First, we're gonna still work on it a little bit more. We're gonna pass it out to our members, see if they wanna add anything or finish the letter appropriately with our names or not our names. Those are some things we have to consider, what's gonna get on it. And what kind of a letterhead we're gonna put it on. And also, we need to discuss if we're gonna pay for these planters.
Mm-hmm.
Can we pay for the first 10 maybe in town? And Shirley, do you have anything that you'd like to say about this?
Only that once you plant it, if it isn't watered properly, it won't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to have a commitment from whoever we're working with if they'll water it. But if it's right in front of their business, I think we probably can work that out.
The owners can have to share responsibility with that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we can help them decide what to plant. And I mean, I have quite a bit of experience with this because of the Mystic Garden Club. There's all the planters in downtown Mystic, and that's my garden club that does it. And some of the business owners do help out. They do water, and some don't. So there's no across the board. Okay, so that was the one thing I wanted to add, and we're going to go ahead and pass this out to everybody, and then see whether we can send the letter out. And
to add on to that, I was at town hall the other day, and the garden in front that Mr. Woods put in for us, he was cleaning up already. So I think that was about a week and a half ago he was out there, and he's willing to work with us, but he said, again, with businesses that even pay him to put the boxes out in front, he says you really have to harp on them that they need to water.
Right.
he say he was willing to do that, put the boxes out
No,
front?
well, he's willing to work with us,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yes, but again, we need to know if we need to put that out for all the gardening people in the area, or if we can just use him as our consultant, or I'm not sure how the politics of that matter goes.
Well, why don't we put that on the agenda for our next meeting, and we could talk to him a little bit more about what what he's really willing to do, so that we don't ask too much of him.
Okay,
Okay, so, then,
I think I'm sorry. I think it'd be nice-
I move that we just continue the discussion and do some more research, and at the next meeting, we'll finalize our plan.
Great idea. And if I could add to it, I think it might be nice if we could figure out a way to put something up down there, giving him credit for what he's done. We'll have to think about how we could do that, but I think it would be nice to do.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, you're right.
But there's the,
They
that
probably.
new
have
business, the,
little stickers
new
and
business, person who, cuts hair right next to the, barn. It's a new business that opened up. They're, for men, barbers. Do you know where that is, Bruce?
Yeah,
No, where's that?
and next door to the barn.
Before the barn.
Oh, yes, okay.
So they're getting quite a good welcome. They've got good business, they're busy a lot, and they put out these tiny little pots in front. Like, so they want to do something good, but they might just need a little guidance in putting out a bigger planter, which will easier to take care of and will hold water longer. So that would be one of my first suggestions, that we reach out to that. His business looks really nice. It's really attractive. Inside, it's incredibly pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we're done with that. Okay. Spring plan for the town hall annex. Sharon, what have you got?
Me?
Yeah, do you have any thoughts on that? How we should proceed with that?
Oh, no, it needs to be finished. I did send out, and I think Cindy sent out a list of all the flowers or plants that are there now.
Yeah, I didn't receive that because I guess there's a problem with my email. Even Lisa's new person is sending me stuff to an old non-existent email. So I have to see I didn't get what she sent, bottom line, what Cindy
You
sent.
got what I sent though, right? Because you responded to it, so I sent it.
Yes.
That's a
She
good
said-
indication.
Yeah, she said there's maybe a few other ones, Cindy knows the exact names, the proper names and all that, where, I put sedum down, so she'll say it's the blah, 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 sedum. But, it depends, what everybody wants to do, if they want to just replicate what's there or put something different in the middle and then replicate that over on the other side. I'm not a designer at all. Shirley is more probably the person to talk to if we want to, finish that off, so. She on?
Shirley, would you like to go with me or with Jim to purchase plants and in the spring?
Are you talking to Shirley or Sharon?
Shirley.
Oh, yes, I can do that.
Yeah, because we just need a plan for how much of whatever, so.
Yeah.
Did you get the package from Cindy?
Yes, I have everything here. It's just what we already have.
But did she do a garden layout?
Sort of, yes. There's like yeah. I have everything here in the bag, which I would give to Leanne if she was here, but you're not here. So, but I did look through it. There is a plan that Shirley, I could give to Shirley. And a list of the plants we have there already, and then I guess some other ones that she had hoped to purchase. I also have a list in here in the bag, all the flowers and plants that were in the planters in the front of the building that were donated. So we do have good plant lists, but we need to go one step further now with a plan. Really not even a plan, we just need to, surely we don't need a full-blown plan, do we? We just need to build one area.
Well,
Shirley?
you should have a plan, because without a plan, you have to have a list of plants. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
without a plan, that you're just, if you have a list of plants, you got to know where they go. And a plan tells you where they go and how many there are.
okay. I just think we can handle it ourselves, is what I meant to say. I don't mean to minimize what has to be done. I just think that if you and I and Jim go, we can take what we have already with us and kind of make a plan on the fly, go and look, or should we? Would you like to write down a plan, Shirley?
Well, I think that we should repeat what Cindy had already planted, and the more ground covers we have, the less weeding there'll be in the future.
Ground cover is a big issue there.
That's what she started with. There were curved areas designated by plants. Those curved areas were filled in with ground covers. That was the objective, because the more ground covers you have, the less weeding you have to do once they fill in.
Okay. So, Shirley, would you be willing to sketch out something that's not too cumbersome, but something that you can work with.
Do you have the plan that we,
Yeah, and I can give it to Shirley.
yeah, that's what, if we can just scan that and make it or whatever.
Yeah.
So if we get you the plan, Shirley, you can expound on that, because like you said, let's replicate what we have, so we aren't starting from ground zero.
I have another bag this big filled with items that Shirley, if you come over, I'll give to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that's, do we have a timetable, Shirley? What do you suggest for a timetable?
Well, we can discuss this at another time, and rather than take up minutes, it's time in the meeting. If I'm going to pick up something from your house.
Okay. All right. Next item, spring plans for town hall.
They've cleaned up, so are we planning on expanding the plannings at town hall, or just maintaining the ones we have now?
Have we talked to Pete at all about that?
Well, Pete was up there, and he's willing to show up to a meeting, but he was just wondering, he says he was frustrated that we didn't water it enough last year.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so he has ideas, like you said, depends what the budget is and how much he's allowed to do.
Maybe we could invite him to our next meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And along with the town hall thing, I stopped by the town hall, and the employees there were requesting that we do an area nice so pictures can be taken for weddings. They said the plannings are good, but they said if we could bump up to get like a mural on the inside or some sort of backdrop, so these young Navy families, just as generic, they said that.
May I interject?
Sure.
Cindy and I submitted a plan a couple years ago for a wedding garden at the town hall. And it was through ARPA, and it was rejected
By who?
by whoever selects what ARPA will fund.
Well, do we want to look at something simpler inside then, for just an easy backdrop?
Well, it's something that can be looked into.
Yeah, I'd be willing to look into that. There's different things that you can buy off the shelf, but I'll bring in the basic things, see if people think it's too basic.
An arch is always really nice, if we can have an arch of some kind. And that's something that maybe just the hardscape, we could start with purchasing the hardscape and running up something around an arch.
I had done a plan with an arch.
I saw that plan, but it was it's still here, so you can still review it.
Maybe what we could do is price it out, see what it would be, because we do have some money, not opera money, we have regular money.
We did have a sculpture plan for that thing initially, which a bunch of you people saw. That would have been spectacular for that particular function.
Yeah.
That got
Let's talk about sculpture.
Did we initially talk about inside, because it would have been before my time?
Can I ask a question?
No.
I keep interrupting.
No, the town clerk's office asked if we could do something in that alcove by their office. So if it's
just so I'm getting confused, I'm trying to write the minutes. You're talking about inside the building?
They were talking inside the building, but they said ultimately they'd love to see more or less what we proposed the last time to come to fruition,
Which was outside.
which was outside, but they said right now for bad weather and whatnot, they just have like the hallway to take pictures in. And they wanted to see if we could push something that spruced up at least the walls with
Plants, like a
plants, some
living
sort of, at the minimum, some sort of backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff I can look into it and bring examples for the next week. So I'll take the preliminary.
Well, let's make a motion
Oh,
if we're gonna do that.
If we want to go that way, I'm willing to do it.
Second the motion.
I'm just wondering whether inside is our area, is our purview, whether that's really our business to be decorating the inside.
No, I'm sorry, I thought we were gonna be, I think we'd be better outside, and if we looked into an archway or something that we could plant things that would grow up and whatever. And then maybe when we come towards fall, maybe we could find an artist to work with us to do a canvas that they could just hang when they were gonna take pictures.
Okay, something else which would be very nice would be one of those living walls where you have a wall that has living plants on it. You plant plants and it has, water that goes through it and, lovely things cascade off the wall. That's quite a, that's quite a commitment. And I don't know who would fund that. And if that's underneath our purview, we pretty much are outside people. We're pretty much
Yeah,
the
I
outside.
think personally, I think if we just work on the outside right now, plan it for spring, and let me see if I'll ask a few of the people that I have that do staging for houses. I'll see if anybody's got an archway.
And for the inside, you don't even need to have somebody paint or put a mural up there. You can buy some pretty spectacular kinds of things, and it's kind of like a wallpaper thing you put up. You can have shots of Groton up there if you wanted to. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities, and a lot simpler than having somebody put a mural up, which will take forever.
Can you work on that, Bruce? Can you get us some ideas on that, please?
Yeah, okay, I'll look.
That would be great.
What's the size of that space, by the way? Do you know?
We've got like 9-foot wall by maybe 20. And it depends which wall we decide. And I mentioned it to Lisa, and she said before we get too involved, make sure we bounce those ideas off her so she can find the right person in the town to
Install it.
not install, but so no feathers get ruffled.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it was mainly that alcove down by the clerk's office
Yeah,
in the basement. Okay.
Okay. So are we gonna consider the arch? Did you say, Leanne, you want to talk that over?
I'll look around and see if I can find anything.
Okay. All right. So let's get to the next item is the spring plan for the installation of the fish sculpture at Esker Point. We've not heard back from the town, so I have no news on that. So we're just gonna pass over that and hopefully get more information for the next meeting.
Okay.
The Route 1 and 117 signs. Also, we've not heard any info. We've reached out and we've not heard any additional info about when that's going to happen. The sign was held up, I guess, at the state level. And and they just requested that we not plant trees there until the sign is up. So that's on hold.
Really, that's just unbelievable. Nobody knows anything about it? I mean, that's been a
I don't
long
think
time.
anybody's followed up on it,
Hmm.
to be honest. So we gotta push.
And so it goes.
Yeah. So true.
And the next item is the Little League statue update. Shirley, perhaps you can tell everybody what we did.
I met Missy at Burroughs Field, and we selected a location. We dropped a rock that was wrapped in yellow caution tape to identify the space. So anybody from the town who's required to check it out, they could do that.
And we made some phone calls also, and it was hard to bring all the parties together. So we simply just said we made the location our preference, and we're not that fussy. They could put it wherever they want, but we need to know when we can order it, and we need to coordinate the pad for it. So we should be hearing, maybe by next month, we should hear something.
I think we do have a window on that, that we really should make a decision by, I don't have it in front of me now, but I did put it in an email at one point that you all saw, where they actually make plans to make these things all at one time. It's not the kind of thing where you can just give them an order and it shows up 2 weeks
Oh.
later. So I don't know if you can
Who are you
get
talking to when
anybody
I
out
talk?
there reasonably quick. I think it was the window is kind of closing on us. So we'd have to wait until later on if we give them an order before we
Who
get.
is we? I don't know who to contact.
What's that?
Who would we contact?
Whoever, Shirley. Did Shirley talk
I
to
don't know.
anybody?
I've got it on my email. I mean, I've talked to the guy like 6 times, and they keep thinking that we're ready to make a decision, and that never happens. So I can find out, but why don't we work out just getting somebody to like give us an okay on it before I contact them again. I really don't want to talk to them unless we have some sufficient information that's pertinent.
Right. Well, Missy and I are gonna hopefully do a meeting with John Burt, so we
Okay.
will approach that and get an
Okay.
answer,
Sounds like a plan.
hopefully.
Okay, and the next item is the wooden troll sculpture. That's still just in the investigation stages. We're just, you know, we'd like to get the other things done first before we expand our reach. So I'd like to just wait on that until, once again, maybe that's something we can bring up with the town manager.
Well, let's make up a list and I'll see what I can get set up.
Okay, all right. And are there any other items, anything else that we should discuss?
When you and Shirley are gonna go look at plants?
Shirley, and maybe Jim, you want to come along? Jim,
Yeah.
you've got a truck too.
Smaller truck now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good, yes, we won't need it.
Oh, well, it's first step is just get the plan together for what plants we need. And if we're just, make sure Shirley likes the old list, and
Yeah,
we'll take some measurements to make sure everything fits.
okay. So we'll do that. We'll take measurements. I'll give Shirley material that she needs. And, it's too early to really pick anything and bring it back. So we're just doing the planning from what we're gonna purchase.
What's the man's full name that's working down at the town hall on the plantings?
What's that?
Well, the gentleman that's doing the plantings, working on the plantings down at the town hall, what's his full name?
Is
You mean Pete?
Frank Woods.
Peter
I'm
Woods.
sorry?
Frank, It's WODS, I believe.
Peter Woods.
Oh,
Just
Peter,
Woods,
thank
just-
you.
yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay.
Is someone gonna contact Peter Woods about the, annex also? Or no?
Was he gonna do something up there?
No, Shirley, we don't,
shouldn't work.
Shirley, we'll just take care of that ourselves, right, Shirley?
Yeah, he's in the business of landscaping and his calendar is going to get really full fast. I would not expect anything from him at this time.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. So our next meeting is, when should we have our next meeting?
April,
3rd.
April 3rd,
I think so. It's the first Thursday, right?
okay? I know I'm gonna not be able to make that. I'm having like a little hand surgery. So I won't be here for the next meeting, but I'll probably be able to do Zoom, even though I'm all bandaged up.
Well, good luck.
Okay.
yeah,
So can I just mention something for the,
Yeah.
I don't know who's putting the agenda for the 3rd, for the next meeting, but we have other gardens to take care of too, like the police department, the Spicer house, the top of Fort Hill, that are all gonna need to be cleaned up in, early May. Am I missing any other ones?
We,
Shirley, do you have any
Um,
other ones?
we had done something by the sign down there on the park they're working on.
Sutton?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
done some plantings down there a while ago. I don't know if anybody's,
No, I don't think ever since Aline has left that it's been touched. Or unless somebody else has, I haven't done anything with it.
okay, I'll take a look at it.
are we talking Sutton Park, Shirley? That Shirley does?
Pardon me?
You do Sutton Park, don't you? Those that planter there?
No, that was Aline.
Oh, okay.
And Cindy and I have been doing Spicer and the top of the hill, and again, the police department will need to be done. So,
Maybe what we need is plan a cleanup and get as many people as we can on a weekend and see if we can get them all done.
and then there's, throughout the season, people
Yeah.
go to different gardens and continue it, but the big cleanup needs to be done by a few people.
We need to have a volunteer list, which we still need to work on, don't we?
Yeah,
It'd be nice to have a list of people that we can send an email out to and say, we're doing this and this on such a date. Would you like?
there might be one of those bags, because we had one together of volunteers at one time, so we could check that. And
Okay. So Leanne, since you're home, can I give you the bag at some point this week?
sure. Let
Okay.
me, I'll give you a call on Monday. Is that all right?
So is there anything else we can discuss?
I think
Nothing
we've
here.
Okay.
accomplished more than we usually do. Thank you, Missy.
Okay. So I move we adjourn the meeting then.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good to see you, Bruce.
Good to see you, Leanne.
You're looking better.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice down here now.
Yeah, beautiful.